one of the first things I do remember is when I was maybe like 8 or 9. And that's just vivid. I'm sure if I can't think of anything earlier than that. The first time I tried hot Cheetos, I was with my neighbor. We had just moved into a new house here in the east side. And I had become friends with a little girl next door, and she had lived in El Paso. I guess all her parents were El Pasoans, and we had lived here maybe like 2-3 years in El Paso, so we still have more connection to Juarez. So I had never really had American chips before. My mom had always bought more like Mexican chips, or maybe if we bought American Doritos. So I had never had hot Cheetos in my life, and she, I guess, had hot Cheetos all her life. So we were at her house once, and her mom, like, I guess, brought out chips, and I had hot Cheetos for the first time, and that, I think, was amazing. It was just the best thing. I do remember, like, the way my body felt when I had that hot Cheeto. It was delicious, and ever since, the addiction started with the hot Cheetos. And, like, a love for Chile, because I love spicy food. And I think that's, like, the first time that I remember eating something, like, spicy. And the first time that I remember eating, like, American chips. And it was really, really something that I cherish, because nothing ever tastes the same as the first time you eat it. And I really do have, like, a strong memory of me eating that bag of hot Cheetos that my neighbor's mom gave me. Yeah, so, in high school, my classmates, I really didn't know them, but I remember there was this one specific person that they would call Sabritas, which is like the Mexican Lay's company, and he would go to Juarez and he would bring chips over and he would sell them in high school. And I never thought of anything of it. I went to high school. We all go for 4 years, and maybe my first year and a half of high school, it didn't cross my mind until I wanted to have a little more money. So I was like brainstorming ideas, and I knew I didn't want to get a job, like a set fixed job, because I wasn't something I was looking for when being a sophomore in high school. And my mom just, I guess, I would tell her in conversation that this guy would sell chips, and she told me, like, why don't you start selling chips? And I was like, really? Like, do you think that'd be viable? So she's like, yeah, and we went to Juarez. She was from Juarez, so she had a lot more knowledge than I did. And there's what they called, like a dispensary, I guess. I forgot the word for it specifically, but you just go and they sell bulk for you, like, and we bought boxes, like literally hundreds of chips. We brought them over and we had them in our house, and I would take maybe like 50-60 bags a day with me to school, and I had them I had a big tennis. I was in tennis, not really a good player, but I was in the tennis team, and I would fill up my tennis bag with chips and I would take them to school. And we sold candy too. Well, I sold candy too, and it started like catching on. People started really wanting them, and the guy that used to sell them before actually had gotten caught at that point in time, because it was something the schools didn't let you do. So there was no competition really, and I just started blowing up. And my mom, we started going, from like 2-3 boxes a week to bringing 8-9 boxes a week, and it started growing and growing, and I was making pretty, like, not like to be like thinking you're like making hundreds and hundreds of dollars a week, but I did, I was able to save up to buy myself a computer, and it did feel nice because, I was always a shy kid in high school, never really talkative, but selling chips really opened up like me to talk to more people, and people would start knowing me, and they learned my name, and it did give me a little more confidence, I guess, to like talk to more people. And it felt nice to like have something that people wanted, because everybody wants to be snacking in class. And I became friends with some of my teachers, or not friends, but like we developed more of like a relationship, because they would let me sell chips in their class, because you can't do it in class. So they would tell me, you can do it, it's okay. One teacher even lent me her closet, and like I had boxes of chips inside the closet, and we became really close. And she asked me if I could help her fundraise for her club that she was the organizer for, and like I started bringing chips for her to sell for her club too, and she would let me, in return for that, like she could tell me, you can keep some chips here. But yeah, it lasted maybe like a year and a half, and then I got caught as well as the other kids, so I had to stop because they did tell me, like, if we catch you again, we're gonna write you up. But yeah, like, you know, it was a good way to get to know people, and also to always have chips, because I do like chips, are one of my favorite things in the world. I love chips. So I guess it was, thinking about it, it was a moment where I could sell something that I liked, you know, and it was fun to sell it. It introduced me to people, and I think it brings joy to people as well. So it was fun to see people excited to have me in class, because people would be like, what class are you in? Or like, you know, when people found out I was going to be in their class at the beginning of the year, they were excited because they're like, oh, like, we can buy chips from you and things like that. So yeah, it was something that I really do cherish, and I think, thinking back, it was really funny. And like, even we were bringing so many boxes of chips at one point that even like the cops or the border patrol on the bridge would tell us, like, where are you guys bringing so many chips? Like, because we were bringing boxes and boxes of chips. And it was just funny. Even some people that I would do projects from class would come to my house sometimes to work on homework, and we had like a closet in the garage that was just full of chips, and they would see it and they're like, this is amazing, because it was really like, we had like a bodega, like the boxes were open and you could just, there was like 50 chips per box, so you would just grab them and like more would fall, and like it was just cool to see. And I had one particular friend that loved coming to my house because I would give them free chips when they would come over.